What up, YouTube? It's your boy Banks, and we back in the building. You feel me? It's True Talks, cause True Talks. All right, let's get straight right into it. So definitely, we got a lot to talk about. Um, we got a lot to talk about. Again, like I said, the breakdowns again, they're gonna come. Like I know it's been like be like Banks is just chatting. A lot of stuff is going on more than y'all even know. So I'm just I'm fighting through it, thugging it out. But a lot of things happening. So just the time, it takes me like 12 hours to make those videos minimum. So it's gonna in due time. Obviously, but it's just a journey every day. But basically, at the end of the day, it's about who. It's Kobe work, cause you know me. Work, boy. You know what I'm saying? That boy done hurt, boy. Anyways, my fault. But this is what I'm trying to say. We're gonna talk about a lot of different things. I'm gonna talk about game one with the game two with the Lakers and Nuggets, game two Wolves and Suns, and then game two um Clippers and Mavs, and game two uh Knicks and Philly. So let's go into the context, because I give you that context. Let's go straight right into it, boy. So you already know. Obviously, we're definitely gonna start off with the just what happened with the last night. We're gonna start with what happened last night in terms of, you know what? Fuck that shit. We're gonna because of time. We're not even going to talk about the Knicks and the late. We'll talk about them game three. It's coming just now. We're going to talk about what happened last night. You know what I mean? Just keep it fresh, whatever, whatever. We're just going to talk about what happened last night. And basically, we're going to talk about the two games. And even we could talk about the Pacers as well, too, and the Bucks. So we'll talk about those three series. So we'll start off definitely with, we'll start off with the Suns and the Wolves, just how it happened. The Suns and the Wolves, unfortunately, a lot of the times when I do predictions, and again, I don't want to harp on predictions or anything like that, because again, when I make predictions and when I do certain things, it's obviously, media, you have to talk, people want you to talk about things, you have to do certain things, that you don't even want to do. Like in real life, I said this year, I don't even want to do predictions. This year is to relearn who is who at this moment in time. It's Kobe year, 2020. Like real shit is happening. The clips, like a lot of these things, like it's real shit happening, right? Y'all feel it in real life. Real shit is happening that you've not it's amongst the globe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's some shit happening, right? So what I'm trying to say is that you kind of like you're gonna get new information of who is who. You're like things that you never could have fathomed, like Anthony Edwards becoming the young MJ Kobe type of guy. You're seeing it in real time like this. I already knew from how he was talking on Team USA. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said this year. I was telling people this year, Anthony Edwards could probably win an MVP this year. He's gonna like step into the scene because it's like when you now see what he was doing on Team USA carrying as a young gun. You got to remember, don't compare Team USA older versions of like, Kobe, MJ, like older. Compare like the young MJ, the young Kobe, the young Anthony Edwards. Though young Kobe, young MJ was not carrying Team USA to a new international, where it's mismatches where they're not built. Like the international game is real. Like now it's not like you can just kill these mans. Like it's a real game. You see what Canada did. Like everybody's here now. All these teams. Luka's on this team, Giannis is on this. Like, man's his hair now. And the game is, like, the game is such at a skill point now where, like, look how Jokic is killing. You don't need athleticism. Before, you actually needed a certain amount of athleticism, a certain amount of brawlicness, a certain amount of, like, just, you know what I mean? Just to even be in the league, where now you need a certain amount of skill to reverse. Athleticism's, like, it's a bonus, but, like, you just need a certain amount of skill. Look at Curry. You don't even see him dunk. Look at Jokic. You don't even see him dunk. My apologies. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, that's why the international game, with all the skill that has been potent, this is why there's for Anthony Edwards to lead and literally, like, go to the post, carry a certain, like, do certain things and then inspire defensively. Talk the way he talked. Respectfully, dog, like, I'm not coming off the bench. I'll come off the bench if there's a Wade and a Kobe. Like I respect my elders, but there's no Wade and a Kobe. I'm the Wade and the Kobe. Like who you talking to? That's what he told Steve Kerr. Like come on now. You brought me here for a reason. Stop this. Like don't disrespect me. Who you talking to, yo? Please move, fam. Go back to the drawing board. All right. Steve Kerr goes, all right, yo, I talked to Anthony Edwards. We can't bring him off the bench, fam. It's not happening. Like, he just bodied us. Like, it's not. This is grown men, y'all. Like, this is grown men. This is not kids. This is grown men. There's fights in locker rooms. Men's get snuffed. Like, this is like that Draymond shit with Jordan Poole. That's not new. I don't need to be there, but I be there because it's the same. I think, like, I'm trying to show y'all. So what I'm trying to say is that Anthony Edwards is not something to play with. I knew this postseason is coming to be real. This is why I said when I saw Bradley Beal in them turn into something switched. I also said, you know what? They always have moments like this in the season because they're trying to overcompensate from something that is missing. And I know that they could do it if they just lock in. But when that's not naturally like at the core of you, you could do something, but it's not the core of you. There's still not a perfect mesh. It could be easily, but you have to analyze the game and see where people are at certain points of their lives at the timing. And they didn't have a whole season to get these kinks in for a man to get the rhythm. So like they in pockets they're nice, and then in pockets they're scrubs. In pockets they're nice, in pockets they're scrubs. In pockets they're nice, in pockets they're scrubs. Because again, they had unconventional first year with a lot of injuries, and it just always been happening with a lot of KD's teams. So like people don't understand that he hasn't had a full year to just with any of these teams, even in Brooklyn. So he's maximized so people just are viewing things wrong. You know what I'm trying to say? A lot of these guys, like, even when LeBron and AD win in the bubble, they have a whole year, like another year before that. Like, they have half a year holding it. Like, even though Mans is injured, I understand what the AD thing is similar, but AD, we know, that's who he is. He's injured in these pockets, but his role doesn't change, and then someone just inserts his role. It's not the whole team shifts because LeBron is still there, so the identity. But when KD's not running point guard, and then D-Book be injured, and he's running point guard, now a new man has to run point guard, and then when it's just so much, the mans who are injured, the drastic changes are happening. So, like, that rhythm, like, they're trying to figure it out. So, them even being at this point with all of what's been happening still, like, with this league where every man is elite. All these teams are elite. And you're still, yes, you're the fact that they got the 6th seed. Not that far off in wins from all these other teams with the chaos that they had all season and figuring it out. It's like, okay. Like, look at the Clippers in the same scenario. And that's why they're the 4th seed. But they're like, what? 4 or 5 games in the regular season from Mavs, and they're all in the same boat. Mavs, late Clippers, and Suns are in those 3 teams that, they could win it all. But it's like they still kind of, the trade deadline, something happened, and they had to figure it out, and then now they have moments where they figure it out, and then man gets injured. There's so much inconsistent. So the fact that they're at, like, you have to just rate all 3 teams. You have to give grace. Where other teams are there the whole year, even though everyone deals with injuries, but I'm talking about who is being injured and the who that person and the role that they play in that injury, how it drastically affects. So, like, you have to be in tune to understand these things. Because it's not like the stat could record this. You just have to, like, look at someone's body language and see how they're playing in this role and how they're playing in this role, and, like, you could just know they told him to do this. They told him to do this. Perfect example, like Michael Malone. Why a guy is guarding this way. They're being told by the coach to guard this way. Michael Malone goes to Peyton Watson. I told you to guard D'Lo a specific way. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. Honestly, like, you follow it. Nothing you did wrong. Just now, right now, he's actually hitting. We thought he would miss. Just like game 1. He's making it right now. So we have to adjust now. So I'm coming to you like, fuck all that shit I told you. Like, let's hoop now. So you can have a game plan to start, but real IQ coaches adjust fast. Everyone comes, it's art of war. You're going to come with it's chess. You're going to come, you have to prepare. So you're going to come with, I expect this. I'm going to try and do this. But then you still have to react in the moment. It's not like every game is different. No matter how, even if you expect, I'm going to play this team, mans are hitting certain threes. This guy's hot today. You're still going to now leave him in the corner, even though, he's going to miss. He's going to miss, but he's hit like 6 in a row. Okay. we're down 10. Like we can't do that shit. We have to like now you no overreact, but let's close out better. But sometimes a lot of people just go to the drastic. Okay, we can't leave him open no more. Stick on him on the corner like he's a shooter. He's having a hot day. You don't have to overreact. You could adjust, but don't drastically go on the other side of the spectrum. Go to the middle. Just slightly test him. Okay, gap and recover quicker. Now, kind of like when you're chasing him and closing out instead of wide open, let's see if he hits those. Oh, he hit a 1-2. Okay, now that he's hitting off of the rest, kind of, now let's speed up the closeout now. Let's see what he does. Does he rip through and blow by and get a drive? Oh, he's struggling with driving now? Okay, that's the new thing we're going to do. Live in that. Now he does something. Okay, don't close it as hard. Like, it's all of these things. Everything is everything. This is the detail that I be trying to tell people about and try to like show people about. And like, this is what my eyes see. You know what I'm saying? Like in real time as I'm watching. This is why people have been saying, Banks, do live streams. I'm going to, y'all. I like everything y'all tell me to do. Like, I know. Look who you're talking to, fam. Like, I know. I've been trying. I want to. I plan to do. It's just if it's not happening. Remember, I want to do things at an elite level. Right now, my TV the way it is, it's like it's glitching with the league passing certain things. I gotta figure it out. Which you know what I mean. So it's like, god damn, like you know what I'm saying. Like I don't want to have on the stream is mad glitch. I look fugazi. Like no, I'm not trying to. You know what I mean. So I be patient with a lot of things. And I overthink and a lot of things and it's just being excellent. So if it's not happening, there's a reason. There's, what I mean, there's always a reason. So it's Banks. You know what I'm saying? You gotta trust me. It's just me. That's why they have to discuss me. You heard? Anyways, what I'm trying to say is that this is the reason why the Suns. I thought at that moment I'm gonna give grace, or I'm going to like. Understand that, okay, in that moment with the Beal, the thing switching, I understand that it could still be a moment. It happened right at the season because now they had to be sparked to do something. They have the ability to do it. But it could just be that they go back into the rut because, again, they still had an inconsistent year. Sometimes the year, you still have to apply the year in context, but you have to, like, apply it to a certain extent. So that's what I'm saying. Like, the Wolves is not a team the Suns ever wanted to face. Not like, oh, we got the perfect matchup. Now, when you look at it, it kind of could be the perfect matchup if the Suns is moving correctly. But you have to equate. The Wolves could be, we're going to hit them with defense, physical. We're going to just be in and change a lot of shit. That's what's been happening in game 1 and 2 in moments. They just hit them with a certain level of physicality defensively that, like, they're in KD shit. They're in this person shit. So now shit that be normally open. Now the Suns, because they're not, like, confident in, because all year's been inconsistent. Now they're back in that, okay, what are we doing, guys? We got to adjust. Like, now they're trying to figure it out, and that's why they're now overthinking. They're doing dumb shit. There's a little bit of nerves. You know what I mean? D-Book not pulling the same shots. KD not even pulling the same shots. Beal not pulling the same shots. Gobert in the drop. Why is Gobert switching, and you're allowing him to guard you? Yes, he's gotten better in defense. But who are you? You're Beal. You're a Booker. You're KD. Cook this nigga. Get him out the game. Remind him of who he been in Utah when he was unplayable. Because when we switch everything, you can't do it. Your legs can't move the same. You know that he still has that in him. He's trying and he's doing good and he's locked in and he's mentally tough right now and he changed his whole identity defensively because this is what I've been trying to tell y'all. That all of those defensive player of the years is cat. He just blocks shots. But when it's playoff time, man's hunt him and point him out. He's in the drop. They abuse him, and they lose because of him. Terrence Mann, he's guarding Terrence Mann. Now, they have to take him out the game now. When it comes to Rudy Gobert, and he knows he has to do some soul searching. So that's why now his value, that's why the Timberwolves, that's why they can play. And Karl-Anthony Towns has to sacrifice to be the power forward. And that's why, okay, Gobert, if you're going to be useful, we just can't go to you in the post. Like you see when he has the ball, it's like, don't worry. Like, how's it 4-on-5 and y'all are struggling? Let me not even, like, dog. This is why there's moments when the Suns are clamping and they're winning the games in these game 1 and 2s. It's when they're literally padding everything, switching everything aggressively, shrinking the floor. There's guys who you can shrink the floor with. You could shrink the floor off of Vanderbilt. Same type of shit. McDaniels, he's gotten better. He's been hooping. Don't get it twisted. But it's because he's getting a lot of open looks, and when the confidence happens, now it's a whole different guy. But you got to remember at his core. Look how he was in the game at the end of the regular season. Look how he was in game 1. When you not and in pockets, even in the game, just the team. The Wolves have weaknesses offensively. That's why they get a lot of when they get stops and push in transition. Like they have guys, they have bucket getters, but if they're paddable. At the end of the words, is the only one that is like unguardable, and Karl-Anthony Towns when he wants to be. But he's in a unconventional scenario where he has to space out because of the Anthony Edwards and other things have drastically changed since he's been out in them. So that he's kind of coming back in. He's trying to find himself, but it's not the same thing where they need you to the same level. They do need you, but he's trying to figure out how he's needed because he has to space the floor still and be a shooter for Gobert and the PNR for Conley and Edwards and stuff like that. So now he's like trying to find his pockets. You know what I'm saying? So like you could actually take advantage of it. And then he'd be mentally on and off. Where he's strong and then you could take his confidence easily. But what I'm saying is with the shooters, you could literally, there's moments where the Suns are like shrinking the floor on Anthony Edwards, so he's trying to attack, and he's still at the end of the day, Anthony Edwards is shot creating, but he likes to get to the cup. That's his number one skill set first. Everything else has been now above average. That's why he got to this point, but he's still a young gun. He's not a sniper yet. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about like auto, 50, 40, 90. That's what I'm saying. There's still like, you could force him to like struggle today. When you just force him to just do bare tough step backs, like, and you cancel all his drives, shrink the floor, and then when you cancel it and you shrink aggressively and then rotate back quickly to the McDaniels and to the all the other players, even Conley, stuff like that. Then now they have to hit under duress shots. They're gonna struggle a bit in that, which is why you see the Suns up in certain moments. And it's like they go on a run, and then now that affects the Suns, and they're feeling confident. Now they're getting buckets. They're like swishing some shit. But then the Wolves are like, fuck that shit. Let's go defend. Gut in their grill. Get to opportunity. Get transition. Change the game. So now they get better defensively, and then now the Suns are getting more nervous offensively. Now they're in a rut now because now they're playing. Their confidence is just decreased a little bit, and then the defense increases from the Wolves, and now it's like, God damn, what are we doing? And blowout happens. That's literally the momentum of the game every time. Starts off like that for the Wolves, then the Suns get confidence back. Fucking hell. We here now. And then the Wolves say, are you stupid? And then they just onslaught it. And then the Suns are like, because again, the Suns, when everyone's going to be hit with a confidence shaker. You see it with the Wolves, confidence shaker. Fucking hell, we're not nice like that in certain things. They're actually locking us up. Damn. And you can unravel in that, but you stay strong. No, let's find a way. Let's get into them physically. That's why coaches are there. Get to cancel. We can see what the team is kind of feeling. Even Anthony Edwards like, God damn, yo, this is real shit. Like, it's KD still. Like, you know what I mean? This is still elite mans. Like, and then you snap out of it. And then you hit them in the mouth. Yeah, and you see, that's why you see screaming. And then now the Suns are just having, remember, the Wolves have had a whole year where they can actually afford to, they know themselves. That's why you see teams try to find identities. When you get hit with like shit not working and whatever, identity crisis moments, you just find your identity again. Right? And then force it back and be strong mentally. It's life. You're going to go through ebbs and flows. That's why you hear man say, stay even keel. Stay even keel. You could be up in the first quarter slapping by 20, then now they get strong because this is elite, man. This is playoffs too. Like, every man's trying. Like, you're not the only one that's elite, fam. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it from that perspective, you got to understand that, like, honestly, from that perspective, you can understand that, you know, it's basically, that's why the Suns, when they're hit with that culture shock of, God damn, this team is here, and they're like literally getting in our grill and whatever, it's hard for them to like adjust in that and find they don't have the full identity, right? They don't have the full identity, and a lot of the missing piece is, again, that's why you need a point guard to force that. That's why you'll see the Wolves, like Mike Conley, when they have droughts, Mike Conley leads by example and gives them a slither of daylight, doesn't let the run get too far. When they're actually struggling, you see Mike Conley as a point guard, just, okay, I got to snipe right now. I got to drive. I got to attack. I got to run the PNR sometimes. I got to get this guy. You'll see him in moments take over as a floor general, like kind of leading the team. It's not like, it doesn't even have to be in bucket getting, just leading from like a leadership perspective as a point guard leading the floor. Like, he's been doing this in Utah, leading, running point guard, leading, putting guys in position, like leading without even talking, just by his play, doing the little things, getting a charge, getting a strip. Like, he's still that guy in just the intangibles regardless, even though it's not potent at 20 and 10 or 18 or whatever, but it's beyond serviceable. It's like still like, we could win with you. It's perfect balance. A guy who's not just going to take over as point guard, but it's a perfect marriage with Edwards. Like, but he can still do that. It's kind of like a Derek Fisher to young Kobe, but like an older version, kind of like with more like, I'm a help more, and I'm a run the PNR more, and I'm a control more, and as opposed to Derek Fisher doing it in like the triangle pockets as a spot up. But he'll still bring up the ball, put this guy, you know? That's what I'm trying to say. So when you look at it from that perspective, this is why the Suns, they can lack in the point guard, lacking. Like you'll see times where like KD they get a steal even in transition. That's why their leads only stay at like 5-7 window. It's like so many bunnies being missed because of a wrong pass and a late pass and like situations and moments where they could literally get it should be easy bucket. Like how did they get a steal 2-on-1? KD advances it to D Book. And then D Book literally like instead of a touch pass alley, like it's 2-on-1. Anthony Edwards is trailing KD. You hold it and then now it's a charge, fam. Like that's where like D Book still he's added playmaking and he's done it. That's why I'm saying like I'm trying to show people like into the mentality and like things that the stat sheet can't, insight to like the mentality and the stat sheet that you can't the stat sheet can't like we're watching the games. I don't even need to show play. I'm just painting the picture so you guys can understand. Like if they get back to that point, right? So like when you look at that just from a hoop like really in depth, nuanced perspective, right? D Book still is a good playmaker and he playmakes and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, in his playmaking, he's kind of like, it's not the root of him. The root of him, is like a shooter that turned into a scorer and a shot creator scorer, but he's still a sniper. You know what I mean? and when you look at it from that perspective, it's like he's 3-level scorer. Like he's perfect in that, which is why they got to the finals because Chris Paul is there doing the floor general shit. But now when Chris Paul goes to the bench, D Book has snapped in his play. His playmaking is not a scrub. It's still of a level of Himothy. Like when Kobe will be playmaking stuff like that. D Book has that, right? Where that's why in the bubble he was technically the point guard. He has point guards alongside him with Cameron Payne and like times with Mike James, Tyler Ulis, stuff like that. But they're not really running point guard. It's D Book running point guard with the track. That's why he's like, I deal with this shit in the regular season. I already deal with this. Let me stop this in the off season, fam. Because he's basically running point guard. He's been. So then that's why Chris Paul was a perfect marriage. It was a two-headed monster because when Chris Paul runs point guard when they play together and D-Book could be the killer. But then when Chris Paul goes to the bench and Cameron Payne comes in, he's not really running PG. He'll bring it up sometimes or whatever and like to give D-Book the ball. So it's still, serviceable and stuff like that. But it's not like it's still D-Book. He's more of a spot up. And get it in transition and sometimes PNR, but D-Book is ball handling for the majority of like 60% of the offense while CP3's on the bench. So he's running point guard in pockets. But now to run point guard the whole game, that's where the inconsistency comes. He's trying to like, do I play make today? Do I score today? This is where his inconsistency comes. And it's crazy. Even in his inconsistency, he's still consistent with 27 points per game. He's still him. Like, I'm not saying like, it's just more so like now when you get to like, this is a new NBA, so you're facing other guys that are like, they're them too. Like, there's a lot of, like, the parodying is so beautiful. The skill is so potent. The Himothys is all, like, you have old Himothys, young Himothys, mid-tier, like, I've been here for a while, Jason Tatum, but I'm not old, and I'm still not even in my prime, but I'm in my prime. Giannis type of Himothys. You have a balance of it's a full world. You've never had that in the NBA, collectively. That they could literally look at, this guy got snubbed for Team USA when before it was never a snub. Even though it was a snub, like internally, like man's in NBA, from the fans' perspective, they're not like arguing what the snub is. Even though they kind of do, it's not real. But this one is like, Kyrie got snubbed. This guy not there. This guy, like, it's like they're trying to take 12 of like, there's a good 30 superstars, kind of. Superstar stars, like, guaranteed without even thinking. And I can name like 50. Some of them that y'all don't see, like, just out the gate. Like, the league is potent. You know what I'm saying? Guys who are playing as a role that if they're in a different situation today, like a Drew Holiday, they could be a star. They'll show you. CJ McCollum, like Jamal Murray. Guys who are not even all-stars, but they're all-stars and superstar actually talents. They're just in situations that prevent that. Because they have to, like, there's another guy who is maybe more than them or, that's let her to higher, or it's not even more than them. They're thinking he's not more than me. It's just you're in this team. You have more of the green light. They treat you as that. So I'm abiding to somewhat. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a better skill set, so I could spot up more than you can. So we have to use you, Jokic, more as a hub because if you were more spotting up, you might turn into Porzingis a little bit. We don't want that. We need your skill sets to be used so the team runs by him just because Jamal Murray could play off the ball. He has other skill sets, so he sacrifices. It's kind of like guys when they would play with Braun. You see when Kyrie's by himself, what he was doing with Boston on that. But I sacrifice, so I play this way when I'm playing with Braun. Yeah, I'm trying to say, like, that's what I'm trying to explain. So, when you look at it from that perspective, like D-Book lacking at times, he lacks point guard vision in moments. He's kind of still being a shot creator scorer. So, like, there's times where he's passing when he shouldn't pass. When he actually, there's one time he had an easy floater in the paint and he passed to the corner for Eric Gordon for a three. When they said a corner screen. It was like it wasn't like a play. It was literally like a breakdown, some whatever, and he had actually a real floater, but he saw a guy sitting in the back screen in case because Gordon's open too, and he passed it to him. It was kind of like, it's like, dog, that was supposed to be your shot creating take. But then there's times where he should make the elite pass, advance the KD for like a fast break, advance, Beal is cut, and I could see it before it happens. I see how KD's running. This guy's going to run to KD. This guy's trailing is going to run to D-Book. This guy kind of here is kind of lollygagging. Beal is turboing. I see him. You have a dime. And it's going to be a now. Beal kind of stops and veers back out to the corner. You don't see me. So now mans don't cut with the same urgency. Like, everything is everything. This is why they're always running in that half court. Give it to Nurkic. Come off this. They're doing certain things every time just to get looks instead of instinctively playing. In moments, but then they have moments where now they're instinctively playing because they're locked in, they're sharp. But they haven't been at that the whole year. It's still a rhythm, which is like Kawhi being inserted back to the Clippers. When you don't have a full year, like, people have to remember, you haven't had a full year. It's hard to win in a year as your first. You've seen people give credit or give, it's only the first year with Miami, that's why they lost. And they do that with the Dirk Nowitzki shit. But then with other people, they don't apply it. It's like, okay, you guys move the goalpost, which is why people get frustrated with, not with Braun, but with Braun fans and media. They pick and choose. Very fickle. Very, very, very. My fault. Very fickle. So that's why it's true talks. It's true because it's not about any emotion. It's just about the game first and everything else second. And y'all, sometimes because I talk sometimes passionately about something, because I'm just, it's entertainment and just like, I love this shit. So you feel it and it's just like KG shit, same shit. It kind of takes away from like, oh, this guy's mad or this guy loves this guy or he hates this guy. No, I'm talking about the game and I hate what y'all are saying because I have to expose that we're talking about the game. The game is showing who this person is. I don't believe in that. I don't believe in Embiid. Never have, never will. He has to show me. Doesn't mean he can't change it, but I'm not going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Believe that's stupidity. When I've seen enough about his character, how his makeup is, how he's not going to adjust and find a way and take over in little things. That inbound pass was supposed to be Embiid coming. I know his knee is hurt, but he's supposed to still box out. You could still box out Hartenstein from getting that rebound. Like, little things that you're being sharp, which is why you see in Game 7 with Kobe where he's struggling, he's still getting bare rebounds. You see Kawhi in Game 7 versus the Philly, he's still getting bare rebounds. Even for Giannis and them, getting bare rebounds when he's with the Raptors, 18 rebounds. Man, I'm gonna do all the little things because y'all are struggling. I lead by example. That type of leadership, you don't have to say nothing, and man, have to now be excellent. Once they see this type of shit you're doing to try, all right, yo, you inspire me. I gotta help you, fam. I'm here to snap out or whatever I'm in. You amped me. That's what I be trying to say. So, you know what I mean? I say that to say, obviously, with the Suns, like, a lot of shit is happening where, like, that is fugazi, fam. Like, I don't like what I saw, in terms of, like, that's why I try to, this is why from the beginning I said the Wolves guaranteed. I guarantee them 2 games. Because, and I even said 7, and because I look at Anthony Edwards as such a Kobe MJ guy that, like, I'm like, he could just at any moment, that factor for he could do something special, you have to give him, is me being like, me not being disrespectful to Anthony Edwards, me giving him, I know who he is. So if he is who I know who he is, this should go, like, he's gonna have special moments and, like, he can get you 3 games easily. Guaranteed he's going to get you 2. And even just the team, like, they're and remember, they're the better team the whole year. Like, they're guaranteed 2. It's stupid to think that the Suns will just offer one moment when they've been in moments all year. But if this moment really is what I think it's supposed to be and what I'm feeling, what I've been waiting for, then they should still win this series, though. But I forgot, though. They're missing a PG regardless. So they're going to be in uncharted territories. For them to win how I expect them to win, they have to be so sharp and locked in and play a certain type of way that it could now make up for the lack of PG in pockets and moments. But then you don't. That is erasing the other team's factor of, like, again, that's what you're envisioning if you're just focusing on how the Suns should move. But then we have to take into account who they're playing. The Wolves gonna have great defense. They're gonna force you to walk, and this is where the PG matters. Which is why you could lean to where the Wolves could win this series. The PG matters. You can't erase the PG position. It doesn't mean you have to be a traditional PG, but the moments of, I'm going to, KD, go to the post right now. Fuck all that other shit. Okay, D-Book, you have him in. You go to the post. Okay, Bill, we're going to give you a good look. Kill him. Go ISO. What's wrong with you? Just, that kind of leadership. Every little thing you see, get the rebound, advance. D-Book going to get an easy layup now. D-Book could just be a scorer. He doesn't have to worry about PG. Bradley Beal could just be a scorer. He doesn't have to worry about PG. Let's go. That now when they're in that scoring, now they can run PG because now the confidence is there. I'm feeling like myself always. But when you're always in the ha 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 ha, I'm not myself. I got it. Ha ha. I got it. Da, 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 and it's uncomfortable, and it's not to your core of instinctually who you are. That you're not in the perfect marriage of how you're supposed to play who you are. Yes, D-Book can play point guard, but it's not a perfect marriage for him to play point guard the whole year. In every scenario, to start out the game, the whole, like, you're responsible for PG. That's not who he is. He can play it in pockets. It's not who he is at his core. He is a scorer. So there's certain things he's not going to see that as a PG you should see. The LeBron PG eyes. Chris Paul PG eyes. Chris Paul, that's why they're missing him. They thought they could replace him by getting Beal in. Okay, we're just going to put D-Book as a PG, which is IQ and stuff like that. But you have to adhere to, there is a reason why the point guard position exists. Do not disrespect the point guard position. And that's what I'm trying to show with people with Jokic. There's a reason why the defensive center anchor position has always existed in the NBA. That old school shit, there's some old school shit that will never leave. Yes, they might not be the same center that could break chest and post up and have skill, but regardless, the one common denominator, if you're a center, you have to be the anchor and protect the paint and have good defensive mechanisms and instincts and produce fear. Jokic don't produce none of that shit, and y'all allow that to win a ring. For me, I look at it as disrespectful to the game. That a lot of y'all are just it's just stupidity. How y'all don't attack this nigga. You seen how what I've been saying, AD attacking this nigga, LeBron attacking it, and then once they remove from it because, again, the Nuggets hit you, their offense is so potent, sometimes it can hit you with it's like Golden State, hit you with that third quarter, and you just now get caught up in the emotions, you react. You don't be cerebral and keep doing what you was doing. And play the long game. You know what I'm saying? So it's just human nature. Human nature is we all get emotional sometimes. We all could react. Like, it happens. And that's something I can't ever foresee because it's a game. That's why every game is different. There's certain factors you can never, this game is so beautiful, you could never, just like life, you can never assume or predict. Even when you do and you get it right sometimes, there's going to be moments where, like, you can't predict. It's just we learn. And that's what this year is. This year is supposed to be like the eclipse. Erase all that shit y'all ever knew. It's time to relearn for what's happening now. And how you relearn will depend on what your kind of IQ is. Some of y'all are relearning that, KD's not him. It's not that. KD's just not, he's still not a PG. He sacrifices. Look where he's always been. He's still there with a PG. It's the same thing, like Curry still needs certain things as a defender because he's not a defender. He's not certain things. KD just doesn't step on people's toes to just run PG and do that shit all the time. He will if I have to. When Brooklyn and Kyrie's injured and Harden, now I have to. I could do it. But I just don't do it, so I'm letting y'all, like, y'all are them too. Like, come on, y'all. Y'all do what you're supposed to do too. Kind of thing. This is why people be thinking KD's not a leader. It's just that sometimes you lead by example and sometimes other people, you know what I mean? It's the same thing. You know, the same thing with Bron too, where that's why he doesn't get he might do it better at a version than KD or whatever, because again, he is running PG, so it's different. KD's not running PG, so you can't, like, compare the two. You know what I'm trying to say? Because KD's actually playing as a wing. KD's like a 4 that's playing as a 3, but he's still like a real 4-3. Like, I'm off ball. Like what LeBron was supposed to be, but LeBron is like a Magic playing as PG. So that's why he can be compared to a Jordan and an MJ, because they could play PG too. They ball handle more. They're not like playing as a wing, like playing like he's Wemby, or like that's where you see KD. Look at who KD's prototypes are. They're all off-ball guys. They have to rely on the PG. They're playing their position. So people be looking at KD as not a leader. No, nigga, he can't do certain things because he can still say fucking do it, but it's like still like you don't want to demoralize your PG, and then now it's like, you know what I mean? And then when times he does do it, you see Draymond as the PG, you're insulting me. I do this, and that's where their fight is. It's like KD's like, nigga, I'm still me. Just give me the rock, fam. Let me get this buck. I'm me. It's MJ Kobe shit. And Draymond's like, I'm me and my PG shit. You just came here, and that's where the fight is. Right? So you can you know what I mean? It's just it's different perspectives. They're like how KD's talking is unnaturally like sunning Draymond. How Draymond is talking is unnaturally sunning KD. And then that's where the clash comes in. And they're not hearing each other. Because it feels like they're attacking each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where that comes in. That's why, you know, you could see the fight and I see through the camera. I know, you know what I mean? That's why it's like, what's wrong with this nigga? Like, they're having fights. For Melo to talk about it and try to amend, like, I know this is real fights. Or real not talk, or whatever the case. It's not like they're actually currently fighting, but there was a real issue. So when you look at it from that perspective, like, a lot of it is just you're kind of it's like I'm learning new things about the team and seeing, and Bradley Beal's not at that point in time in his career to do that old Klay Thompson shit that he used to do. He's been long gone from that. So now he has to go back to it. It's like, God damn, how do I, especially when you've been injured in and out and like you're not used to, you haven't even had rhythm in it. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, honestly, like, all I'm saying is moving forward now for the Suns, they could win 4 straight. They could turn it all around. It's just that they have the capability to, but it's just that now start Josh Okogie. Like I've been said, Grayson Allen is injured. He's done 50-40-90, hell of a season, all that type of stuff. I don't know if he's coming back. It looks serious, whatever. And it's because it was tweaked, now re-aggravated. What I'm trying to say is start Josh Okogie. Enough is enough. Not O'Neal. You need a special defender. O'Neal has good defense, but he's not a special defender. He's not instinctively fast twitch. React like Josh Okogie is a special Kawhi-like defender. This is why when they had with Chris Paul and him playing, they were padding shit. Torrey Craig, special defender, they were padding shit. Versus in the 2 games at home. Start Josh Okogie. Bradley Beal now go to that Grayson. And now you're going to see Bradley Beal start to be more of a rhythm guy. Because now he's going to that Grayson Allen role. And now this might be where the perfect mesh might happen now. To play, they're going to still have droughts where they need a PG. But now for them to get to where they need to get to, this could be, unfortunately, Grayson Allen getting injured. It's like you need him because you know obviously the spacing, the shooting, whatever. But his defense is kind of like, sometimes, you know, it's just white guys don't have the fast twitch. So he's there and he's like, his mind is there on everything. Sometimes he'd be delayed, but it's like, his like he can't react as quickly as a Josh Okogie. He just can't. And he's not as big. He's not as strong. He just, so certain things, he's trying his ass off. But to be the main defender on the team, like, it's like you're at a disadvantage and you're trying to like play against the disadvantage every time. So like it's gonna work sometimes, but it's like a lot of the times, like in the NBA, like you're facing good guy, like they will kill that. They will kill that. Josh Okogie can really get real stops and get you easy buckets and like change a lot of, like, you don't have to rely on the half court as much. It's just the ideology in looking at, okay, we have to focus on offense. Our defense isn't as good, so be so potent on offense. We need to, okay, this nigga needs to be out there, Grayson Allen to play because the double team of KD, they're worried about offense so much in their decisions first. They're worried about offense first, and then they kind of defense second. It doesn't mean they don't worry about defense, talk about it, but like the rotations they're doing is kind of like offensive minded first. When you could do both. If you put Josh Okogie as we need a defender, we could still have offensive weapons, but we need a defender regardless first. That's to take priority. We need a lock. Every starting person in the team, every playoff team has a defensive merchant playing. PJ Washington has been that for the Mavs, like, and he's been padding. Like, they have a defensive merchant who could, like, you're gonna struggle today. If you're hot, you're hot, but the Suns don't have that in their starting lineup, which is why they start off so bad a lot of the times. Royce O'Neal comes and a lot of things change. But start Josh Okogie, he's the better defender. You might struggle with a 1, 2, 3, and there might be pockets where, but you might not be in the half court as much. So you're worried about being in the half court so much because you're not getting stops. But think about like take that mind off. That's that scenario. That's what you're seeing. Imagine now you have a starting lineup with Josh Okogie. And now you're getting stops on the defensive end. You're not going to be in the half court as much as you are now because you're not getting stops. You're going to be in the half court, you know what I mean? Less because you're getting stops. So you get more transition, kind of like the Wolves. You get more transition. You get in pockets. You get easier buckets. So now when you're in the half court in certain moments, Josh Okogie might hit a 1-2-3. You might not have to pass to him. Like, it's not going to be highlighted as much. Even though in pockets it kind of will at sometimes. They get space and Josh Okogie might miss a three. But it's like you can overcompensate from that because you're feeling good. You're getting more stops, man's in rhythm. Now Katie's making double team shots now because it's different. The confidence level is a whole different game. Hence why they won 8-0 when Katie got there with Josh Okogie in the starting lineup last year with Chris Paul and them. Go back to that. Don't react to certain offensive half-court droughts because remember, when Josh Okogie was playing, they never fully had the full five, the big three. So you're reacting. You're overreacting to when two is there and now it doesn't work. I'm saying when all three is there, the Josh Okogie could work. Maybe not all three is there. It might not work because you need the shooter in Grayson Allen. I get it. But you could have still rolled it out. You see when the starting lineup, they brought Tim Hardaway in the Mavs, took off Derrick Jones, maybe injured or whatever, and they put him to the bench. But they're like, okay, we need defensive merchant. Yes, he might. Derrick Jones and P.J. Washington, yes, they might not hit to the same. P.J. Washington is a shooter, so that's different. But what's his name? Derrick Jones might not hit to the same level like a Josh Okogie. But he's a high flyer. He's athletic. He's going to do little things. And when he's playing and told to shoot, he's going to still be a better version. Just let him just take time. Just let him get empowered. Just same thing like Terrence Mann. He might miss a 1-2. Just don't make him feel worried about the shot. Because if a guy like him who doesn't have a natural shot has to worry about it, he's not going to be as potent. But you want to give him confidence when he's going through. Don't worry. Keep shooting, man. Keep shooting. Keep giving him the ball. Keep shooting. Keep shooting. Obviously, if he's bricking OD now, then maybe you might not go to it. But still, like, keep shooting. Still find him in a transition moment. And then he hits one. Good, nigga. So he doesn't go as far in a rut as he might. You know, this is the things I'd be talking about, like from just an IQ eye. You know what I mean? I didn't even mean to make this video that long. It just kind of tapped in. And this kind of what I'm seeing. So, you know, it kind of happened that way. But, you know, it's true talks. Share, like, and subscribe. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I think that the Suns could get that. Like, you know what I'm saying? They could bounce back, especially going home. They have to make changes. The Josh Okogie has to start. The time is now to do it. Grayson Allen is injured. I don't want to see Royce O'Neal starting. It better be Okogie. You need a real, like, come look who you're facing. You need a real, like, Anthony Edwards has fast twitch ability. You need a guy to match his fast twitch. Okogie's that, not O'Neal. O'Neal will still get blown by being quicksand. And it's like, he's not as fast twitch. When you have a guy sitting there, if you didn't have Okogie, then it's O'Neal. But you have the guy sitting there to do it. You have the guy. Come on now. What are we doing? Like, it's just sitting right there. I'm telling you what to do, fam. Like, do it. I'm telling you. It's Kobe work. I see it all. It's been there. I've been waiting. I was mad when he got taken out of the starting lineup because I'm like, just ride the bump. Ride the bump. Sometimes man's overreact. Oh, they're playing bad. Take Vanderbilt up the starting lineup. Oh, they're playing bad. You know what I mean? You sometimes you overreact, but it's not even as bad as this is a natural fit. It's just like you need a defensive merchant. So, and you can see that with LeBron. He's becoming the defensive merchant. He's trying his best, and that's why I'm rating it. That's why I feel like they could also beat the Nuggets. It's a whole different discussion. But anyways, you already know. True talks is true talks. Share, like, and subscribe. We out here. There's no down here. There's no drought here. You feel me? I appreciate y'all. You already know. Bruh. We go on to the next one.